Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful holiday. I'm back today to talk about surrender. I sent out an email, and I think I posted it on Facebook as well, that I was experiencing all kinds of problems bringing my book to market, and that it was an opportunity to practice surrender. And somebody wrote to me and asked me about the practice of surrender. So I thought, well, let's talk about that. It's a great topic and I love talking about it. And it's something that I practice in my life all the time. It's so natural to me that I don't even think about it anymore. But when I was thinking about how to explain this practice, I want to simplify things by saying that there's two aspects well, there's more than two aspects, but you could generalize it and say that there are two aspects of us. And one is the small self, which I like to refer to as the human or the personality. And it's really not that small. It's very powerful and contains all the functioning of the human mind. And then there's the other aspect of us, which is the higher self, or you could refer to it as the soul, or sometimes I'll refer to it as like divine wisdom. And we tend to think that the small self is in charge or in control of everything, like work, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do this, and that we're actually controlling what happens in our lives. And when in actuality, it's the higher self that is orchestrating things beyond our understanding. So in the surrender practice, as it relates to my situation with the book, is I was having all these problems with Amazon. And in the beginning, my mind, my personality, just wanted to bring the book to market as soon as possible. I thought that was the best thing to do. And when I encountered these problems that made that impossible, it was frustrating. And there was just like this incredible amount of, energy going into trying to change what was happening, when you all know that nobody has control over what happens on Amazon. So the gears behind the scenes actually tend to move very slowly, I've noticed. So I had to take my hands off the wheel and trust that my higher self was orchestrating a far better outcome for me in ways that I couldn't even imagine. And it's a trust issue because I don't currently know that it's going to end up being better than if I were in control. But I have had the experience of trusting my higher self's guidance so often that I now know that the outcome is always better when I can trust my higher self. So another way that this manifests in my life is that I am in the position of selling my family home. And there was a trip that I wanted to take, and I felt like I needed to sell the house first in order to take this trip. And so I was putting it off, and I was laboring over the sale of the house and didn't understand why things weren't coming together, and clearing the house and saying my prayers or saying thank you to the house or whatever. But then I decided to go ahead and book the trip that I had wanted to take. And sure enough, the next day I had several calls on the house, and hopefully things are going to be moving in the right direction. So this doesn't mean that you don't take action. You don't just sit around waiting for things to happen. But there is this concept known as right action. And that just means that you are looking for what is the next best action to take for your highest good. And in order to understand what that next step is, you have to listen to the guidance of your higher self. And that means that you are going to need to distinguish between your human mind and what the human mind wants to do, and that small, quiet voice that speaks to you from your soul. And that just takes a little bit of practice. But I can see how this works in my life all the time. But again, you're going to have to do some trusting that there is a far more skillful hand orchestrating things for your highest good. So let me know if you have any questions on this topic, and post them below on the comments, and we can get a conversation going. Tell me how you've surrendered in your life and how that's worked out for the better for you. In the meantime, hopefully my higher self will be orchestrating things so that we can get this book to market, and I can begin getting out there and coming and speaking to you and reading to you in person. Take care. See you soon.